Hello sweet people, and welcome back again to my channel for today's tutorial. I'm still your friend the needle woman, and if you are new to my channel, I sincerely welcome you also. So for our tutorial today, we are going to be making a boo top, and I'll be using this very light cotton material for it. It is actually very light. Okay, I'll be making use of like 1 yard of this fabric. It's actually by 60. Okay, so that's what we're going to be doing today. I folded my fabric into two. We're going to be cutting the front panel first of all. I folded this fabric into two and I cut it out using my shoulder measurement, which is 56. But because I will be adding band at the wrist area and also at the down part, I'll be subtracting the measurement for that band from my shoulder. I mean for the wrist area. Since my shoulder, which stems from this point through my back to this other side of my arm, I will be measuring 48, so that the band I will be putting here will now be 8 inches, which at the end of the day will still give us our 56. So my shoulder measurement now is going to be 48 divided into 24. I hope this part is clear. And also for my length, my full length is 25, but here I'll be using 23 because I would like 2 inches extra to form my band at the lower level. I hope it's very clear. So for my shoulder, I'll be using 24 inches, that's 48, and then the band here is 8 inches, and then for my length, I'll be using 23 inches, and then the band of 2 inches to make it up at 25 inches. With that said, I'm going to find the midpoint of this fabric when folded together. This is just the front part, and we are cutting the front part first of all before the back. So this here is the midpoint, and as you can see, I had to use my chalk on it from the upper side to the lower side. So this is the midpoint. Now before we make any cut, we are going to make a little pleat at the neckline area first of all. So before I make any stitch, I have to determine the volume of my neckline for the front. Okay, the volume of my neckline for the front, I want to use 6 inches, which is at this point. Okay, so having determined the volume of my neckline, which is 6 inches here, I have to now fold this fabric like so. You can decide to fold by half an inch towards the center, towards the midpoint. Okay, you hold it firm with your pin. I'll be making 3 on each side. That is 3 prints on this side, 3 prints on the other side. Okay, so I fold again. Okay, so this is it. You can see I made the pleats on it. So I'm going to use my pressing iron on it to make sure they are very flat enough. Okay, so now as you can see, I've made a very good press on it. So I'll go to the machine, stitch this upper side. You know, remember this is the volume of our neck. I'll also stitch this lower part so that they don't open before we now cut our neckline. Okay, so with this done, I've made the stitch. I will now fold it into 2 and then make the necessary measurements and cutting. Okay, so now I've folded my fabric back again into 2. I'll measure out my shoulder from this neckline, not from this upper side. You see, this side is now a little bit sagged, so I'll take my measurement from this point. This is 24. My shoulder measurement is 48 divided into 2 is 24. Okay. Then my neckline. For my neckline, I'll use 3.5 inches. Remember, this is the depth of my neck, so I'll just take it this way so that this place is now off. I hope it's very clear. All right, I'll also impute my 1 inch shoulder slope at this point. It's my 1 inch shoulder slope, so I'll just draw a line to meet it. All right, and for my round sleeve, I will be using like 15 inches. So now from this 15 inches, I will measure. So this is 15 inches. This is where my hand will pass through. Okay. Now for my waist measurement, it is 41 divided into 4 will give us 10.25, which is here. I'll be adding 2 inches extra for allowance and then 1 inch for ease. So at the end of the day, I added 3 inches. Okay. So I will now join this marking here to this my waist measurement. Just with a slight curve. You can do it freehand. I hope it's clear. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this place off. I'll also remove this 1 inch shoulder slope. And then of course my neck line, the volume of my neck. You be careful not to cut where you stitched so that it doesn't scatter. Okay. So I'm going to place it against my body now so that you understand better. And also with this now, I'm going to cut the back panel, but it's not going to be having all of this at the middle. It's going to be plain. Okay, so this is it for the back panel. I've carefully laid both on the table. I'll just for my back neckline here, the volume of the neck, I'll be going with 2.5 inches. The next thing I should do is to use my bias to knitting the both front and back neckline. After that, I will join them at the shoulder. Join them at the shoulder, as you can see. The next major thing to do is to return back to this round sleeve area. Remember, this is a round sleeve. Okay. And then start making tiny stitches. When you grab the fabric, you stitch. I'll just give you one example so that you understand what I mean. I'll go to my machine, do it, and show you. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. You grab a little stitch, you grab a little stitch until you have imputed it in all of the 2 sleeves at the round sleeve area. You can choose any length you want. If you like, you can do it this way, give space and start again if it is time consuming for you. I hope it's very clear. You can choose to give space, like after you've made like 7 8 stitches, you give space, you start again, do 7 8, give space, start again, so that it will finish on time. Okay, so this is it, and I must tell you, it almost took the whole day to do this. So after this, now the next thing should be to cut out the band for the wrist and also for the down part. So all I have to do is to measure this out. I'll have to measure this point out, measure the waistline also, and then cut out the band. This is for the waistline for the lower part, and this is for the round sleeve. So I'll just join the front one, join the round sleeve also. Okay, so this is for the sleeve. I've imputed it, and also the down part of our front panel, I've also joined it, remaining the back. And so for the back, this is the band for the back. I'm going to be using a smoky thread to run through it like 3 lines. This is the thread, I mean the elastic thread. I'm going to use it for about 3 or 4 lines on this band before I now impute it at the waistline of our back panel, so that it will bring it closer. I hope it's very. People who don't have a steady hand, you can clip yours. You can see the way I did my own to give it a firm hold. Okay, before I now draw out the line where my stitches will pass through, because I would want it to be very straight. Okay, with that said, I'm going to now put my smoky thread in this bobbin. I hope you understand. That is the way it works. I'm going to put this particular thread in this bobbin, and then for the upper part, I'm going to use a normal thread. Okay, so I will now draw out my line on this band so that my stitches will be very straight. It's going to serve as a guide. So here are my own lines. I made 4 of them, so I'm going to run my stitch on the straight line. So here it is neatly done and in a straight line with the help of the line I earlier made on the fabric. Okay, so I will now go and impute it at the lower part of the back of our top at the waistline. Having attached it to the lower part of our back piece, the last thing is just for us to join them at the 2 sides using the waist measurement only. Using the waist measurement. If you like, you can as well measure here to determine how loose it's going to be for you. Okay, so my waist measurement is 41 divided into 2 is going to give me 20.5, which is this point that I already marked. It's better for me to drag this one as I'm joining than to measure on this one because of the clogging nature. Okay, so I will now go to my machine using this body measurement. I will stretch this one to meet it and then attach them together. And then at this side, since we didn't measure any bust or whatever, you can choose to maintain whatever that is left here, or you leave 2 inches at the 2 sides. This is the excess we have on the waistline. It is 2.5, close to 3 inches, but you can decide at this, as you are moving up, you leave 2 inches. I hope it's very clear. Okay people, so this is what we have at the end of the day after all said and done. You can check me out. Very gorgeous dress indeed. You can do this on a trouser as I'm rocking mine. You can also do it on a skirt. You can see the back side. You can do it on a skirt. I also had to put 2 stitches, one at the lower part and then one at the bust area, so that these pleats will be guided. It does not have to be opening up like this. Okay, but if you are using a very light fabric and a stretchy one, you don't need these stitches here because it can stand on its own. All right, Thank you guys for watching till the end. I appreciate you guys. And if you are new to my channel, please hit that red icon before leaving to subscribe. Don't also forget to share it, to also leave your comment in the comment section. I also implore you, please watch my adverts. Thank you guys for watching once again. I love you from the bottom of my heart, and please stay at the top. Bye.